UFC Kansas City, Ian Machado Garry versus Carlos Prates. I'm here to give you my full card picks and predictions for the fights. Before we get started, we'll quickly recap the pay-per-view 2 weeks ago, how we did in terms of the predictions. Obviously, in a few days, my full bet slate will come out, at least the early ones. Obviously, if you want all of my bets, including lives or the ones that, I put an hour before the fights, it's all on the Discord. The link is in the YouTube bio. It's thewap.com/Izzy'sDgenMind. And of course, please sub here, like. This is where my full card picks and predictions are now. They used to be on my TikTok account that had 15K. Ultimately, that account got smoked for some reason. Working my way back up, almost at 1,000 again on TikTok, but no full card predictions over there, only strictly on YouTube. We're so close to 500 subs. I'm hoping to get it for this specific card because once we do that, I'm going to be doing a giveaway once we reach 500 subs. We're at 480 right now. We're so close. We're so close. The goal was to get 500 before the month ended, so we're like creeping up there. So please make sure you sub, like, do all of that. But like I said, we'll quickly recap last week's card. I'm not going to go into details because it was 2 weeks ago, so it doesn't really matter anymore. But we went 8-5 in the predictions. Now, honestly, I was a lot more mad when it happened because I just felt like when it mattered most, everything sucked. I mean, we went 1-2-3. We went 6-2 in the prelims. Not bad, but we went 2-3 in the main card, which makes me very angry. We lost Dumas, we lost Jan, which was a big hit. We lost Krylov, Michael Chandler, and then we took Diego Lopez. I mean, we hit some solid ones, like we hit Dan Ige as a dog. We also had Chase Hooper by decision, which was like plus money. There's a few good wins in there, but just kind of wish overall we didn't go 8-5. Maybe a 9-4 would have been a little better for me at least, or even a 10-3. We've had a few 10-3 cards. Obviously, predictions aren't the only thing. It's about what you bet on. So stay tuned for that video in a few days. But like I said, we'll quickly run through this card. I mean, it's a fight night. There's some banger fights, some fights that I really do not care about. I'm taping these fights and I'm like, God damn, I don't care. But you know what? For the love of the game, I still taped it for you guys. So, like I said, we'll quickly run through this card. It's a 14 fight card. I mean, they keep just delivering like a million fights. I mean, I haven't seen 14 PFL fights this entire year, to be honest. Has there been? I don't think so. So, we'll quickly run through those. We'll start from the bottom up, and then we'll just end with that main event, which is an absolute banger of a fight. So, we'll see how it goes. But we're going to start with the first fight of the night is Chelsea Chandler versus Joselyne Edwards. Now, Joselyne Edwards, she's usually the taller fighter. They're the same height, but she has 2 inches in reach advantage. And Chelsea Chandler actually has the 1-inch leg reach advantage. Now, Joselyne Edwards is coming in as a pretty heavy favorite here. Rightfully so. She's better on the feet. We've seen Chelsea Chandler have some questionable tactics in the octagon, we shall say. But honestly, kind of a big fan of Joselyne Edwards. Like, she puts it down in there. You know, she's been in the UFC since 2021. Pretty decent. She won her last fight against Vidal, took her down twice, 2 subs attempts, outstruck her. I mean, clean. She lost to Aileen Perez and Nora Corneau. Corneau one was a little questionable, but before that, she was riding a 3-fight win streak. I mean, she hits more than she gets hit. So still has a little over a takedown average. Not terrible, to be honest. I mean, she kind of likes to mix it up. Like I said, she's usually the taller fighter, so she's usually wary of getting taken down. Like, there's a good amount of her fights where she's been taken down at least once. I mean, Aileen Perez took her down 6 times in a fight that she probably should have won. We had bet on Aileen Perez, but still, Joselyne Edwards is probably the better fighter. And then Chelsea Chandler is 2-2 in the UFC. She lost to Yana Santos, which is not a good loss because before that, Yana Santos was on a 3-fight skid. Absolute nasty work there. Just got outworked, and I think Joselyne Edwards is going to do the same thing. I think she's just going to put the pace, stand in her face, use that reach advantage that she usually always has. Just punch her in the face. That's all she has to do. I mean, Chelsea Chandler's not out here trying to take people down too much. She only has 3 takedowns in 4 fights. Obviously, it's all matchup based. She's probably going to be trying to clinch a lot in this fight until she gets hit in the face, and maybe she tries to run again. So we'll see how that works out. But regardless, give me Joselyne Edwards in this fight. Like I said before, she's a pretty heavy favorite. I keep saying dog. Minus 320. Not a bad parlay piece, but never like betting on favorites on the first fight of the card. Kind of nasty. Might take a prop bet. We'll see by decision. But regardless, give me Joselyne Edwards to win by decision. Next fight, Timmy Cuamba versus Roberto Romero. Now, Cuamba is an inch taller, has an inch reach advantage, and a 2.5 inch leg reach advantage. He's also coming off of an L, coming off of 2 L's after winning Contender Series. So, kind of been fake news. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of got fraud checked by Lucas Almeida not that long ago. I mean, it honestly felt like this fight happened like a few months ago. Yeah, kind of, not really. It was like middle of last year. But regardless, just got outworked. Cuamba landed some takedowns, but he just got outstruck. He got knocked down. It was nasty. I mean, couldn't really do much in there. And then here comes Romero. Lost to Onama in his debut. They each got knockdowns, but Onama always gets knocked down, and then he also knocks people out. So Onama also got a takedown. There's not much. I mean, obviously these stats are skewed because there's not much on Romero at this point, and honestly even Cuamba. But I like a TKO prop maybe for Cuamba. I think that his striking's a little cleaner. I think he's there to get hit, but he also hits very hard. He might, try to look for that takedown as well, land some mean elbows. So I wouldn't doubt if this went the distance, but I do lean Cuamba here just slightly. And here's the thing, they're not on a lot of books, obviously just major ones like FanDuel, which is the one that I'm going to be talking about mostly. Minus 106 right now, and Romero's a minus 120. So Cuamba is the underdog here, and I'm not hating it, to be honest. Like I said, he has a little more experience. I think that he's going to be leaning for those takedowns. He wants a finish. He needs a finish. He's on a 2-fight skid. He wants to keep his job. He can't just win. He has to not make it boring, which is why I kind of like a TKO prop on him. Don't know what the odds are yet. It's very early in the week. Probably anywhere between plus 300 to 400, because it's not like Romero's out here. Romero's not a scrub. He's been TKO'd only once. He's lost 3 decisions before, which is why I kind of lean that. He's lost 2 of his last 3. Like, that's not great, and that's not all in the UFC. It's not great. So, regardless, I like the dog here. So, give me Timmy Cuamba to win by TKO or decision. Next fight, Jaqueline Amorim versus Polyana Viana. Now, I know a lot of y'all have crushes on Viana. She's actually 2 inches taller here, but Amorim holds the 1-inch reach advantage, and then Viana holds the 1/2-inch leg reach advantage. Virtually the same, only Amorim's a little smaller, and I think that's going to work to her favor with what her game plan is going to be here. Like one of these fights where I'm just clearly not going to talk about it too much, because when I show you these odds are gross. Amorim is 9-1, 7 wins by sub, 3-1 in the UFC. She's on a 3-fight win streak, all by finish. Only lost to Sam Hughes, rightfully so. Sam Hughes, shout out Sam Hughes. Good everywhere, not great. Those are the worst type of fighters you want to fight, especially in WNBA. I was going to say WMMA. Those fighters that are good at everywhere are like the worst to fight, because you just don't know what the hell they're going to do. But Viana, 13-7, 4-6 in the UFC. She's lost 2 straight, both by sub. I wonder how I'm going to go with this fight. Lost twice by sub and 7 wins by sub in the first round. Interesting. When you see these odds, minus 620 on FanDuel for Jaqueline. Nasty work. I wouldn't touch this fight unless I take a specific prop bet. I'm gonna go with Jaqueline Amorim. Listen, she's gonna get the takedowns. Even if she doesn't, she's gonna find a way to get on her back and just absolutely choke her out. It's almost due. Viana shouldn't be in the UFC. I mean, it's one of those. She's very pretty, so she's kind of been there a little longer than she probably should be. But regardless, because she has fans, and obviously she's still skilled, but 4-6 in the UFC's dropped multiple straight. Not a great look at this point. Amorim's on the way up. She's clearly better everywhere. Maybe just not standing too much, but she's going to make her way to the ground. So I'm going to take Jaqueline Amorim to win by sub. Now, if I were to take a prop on this, it'd probably be rounds 1 or 2. She just a million subs in the first round. Could end up being in the second too. I wouldn't doubt it. even if she gets a takedown and she just lands on top, she might just end up getting a TKO. She might not knock her out, obviously. A lot of them don't have that power, but she might just land enough elbows where the ref is going to have to stop it. So, regardless, give me Jaqueline Amorim to win by submission. Malcolm Wellmaker versus Cameron Saaiman. Now, this is a scary-ass fight. I'm not going to lie. This is Wellmaker's debut after Contender Series where he picked up a first-round TKO. Now, he's 2 inches taller, has the 4.5-inch reach advantage and the 1.5-inch leg reach advantage. Those things are going to come in very handy for someone like Wellmaker because he has hands and he has power and he's kind of scary. I'm not going to hold you. Like I said, he picked up a first-round knockout in 2.5 minutes, had the knockdown. Pretty equal on standing, but listen, he got the knockdown. He has the power. He was getting hit as well. Nothing too crazy. He's 8-0. A few decisions also, but a lot of TKOs, rear naked chokes. Listen, he's pretty well-rounded, and he's 30. He's like reaching that prime age right now. He looks a lot younger than 30, to be honest. And then we have Cameron Saaiman, 9-2, but he's dropped 2 straight. 1 to C-Rod, where C-Rod came in fat. I'd like to just point that out. Granted, level of competition before C-Rod, absolute ass. I mean, absolute ass. All this is garbage. Garbage. Then loses to C-Rod, and then got smoked by Talbot. I mean, that was nasty work. Got smoked by Talbot really bad. So now he's 3-2 in the UFC when he started off 3-0, 4-0 with Contender Series. It's going to be rough for him. I'm not going to lie. He's going to have to go for some takedowns. Obviously, that was C-Rod's game plan. C-Rod, like I said, also came in fat. He landed 2 takedowns against Terrence Mitchell. 1 against Martinez. Got taken down 5 times. Still ended up winning his fight before that in his debut. He's going to have to go for takedowns. He's going to have to because although he averages less than 1 and he's primarily a striker, he's going to have to get in as close as possible with someone who is taller than you, has more power in the hands than you, has all types of anatomy advantages against you. Cameron Saaiman, he cannot just stay at range against someone like this. And the good thing about Saaiman is I think he's pretty technical. It's so tricky to see him in these last 2 fights, but Talbot is so much more technical, I would say, than Wellmaker at this point, which is why I think he has a better chance of beating him than Talbot. I mean, I know Talbot just got fraud checked. Not really. I mean, Barcelos is a vet, a proven vet, so who has given a lot of people problems in the past. So it's not a bad loss at all, either for him and obviously Saaiman against Talbot. The C-Rod one, like I said, he came in fat, so I can't really, I can't count out Saaiman just yet. This is going to be a big test for him, more than Wellmaker, because Wellmaker can lose this fight, and he'll be fine, because Saaiman, I think, is still good. But like I said, he has the power, he's scary as hell. 100% takedown defense, but, 0 for 1, that's why. Not much on him, like I said. Has the power, it's very scary. When we look at the odds, Saaiman is an underdog. He's actually -113 now on FanDuel. He wasn't before. -1. So it's a pick him right now on FanDuel, but he's a +100 and a underdog in every other book. Every other book, he's an underdog. So he's an underdog. And I'm going to go with the underdog here. I just think that he's more proven. I think that people are going to look at that Talbot fight and go, Wellmaker is going to do the same thing, but worse. I don't think so. I think that if it extends past that first round, I think this is Saaiman's fight to win. So give me the dog. Give me Cameron. This is 2 dogs already. I'm scared. Give me Cameron Saaiman to win by decision. Next fight. Damon Blackshear versus Alateng. Didn't say that right. Blackshear is 5 inches taller, 5.5-inch reach advantage, 5-inch leg reach advantage. Listen, homie over here is going to want to be in the pocket as much as possible. Blackshear knows he can't do that with anyone. He shouldn't, That chin has been tested before. He doesn't want to test it against someone who's clearly going to want to just knock him out. That is homie's deal right here. But he's been TKO'd before. He's been subbed. He's lost by decision. His last 3 fights have gone to decision, but he swings. He throws down hard. Blackshear could get caught with one of those. Obviously, He only has one TKO loss, was 3 fights ago against Montel Jackson, which was just a clean left. I mean, it was so blatant and early in the fight. He just got caught. He's not going to lose a decision to someone like Alateng, but I do like him to win here. I was going to say by sub. I was thinking by sub for so long, but Alateng is actually very tough, and I think that Blackshear is going to understand that. And he's not going to force anything. I think he might be able to get some takedowns, might be working on the ground a lot, might even get some sub attempts, but I just think it's just going to be a straight up beatdown. Actually ended up Kimuring Gibson in his last fight, and he pretty much, Cody Gibson outlanded him times 4. Now, when we look at the odds, I mean, Damon Blackshear is a minus 480. That's insane. That's so insane. I'm probably not going to touch this fight. It's not a red flag fight per se for me, but just one of those fights I'm just leaning towards not touching, especially because of the odds. I think Blackshear should win, but he's chinny a little bit, just slightly. His IQ, his defensive IQ is still very good, especially the longer this fight extends, but still don't trust it at minus 480. But regardless, I still like him to win. So give me Damon Blackshear to win by decision. Now, next fight. Chris Gutierrez versus John Castaneda. They were supposed to fight weeks ago, and so a lot of shit has happened. But regardless, Gutierrez is 3 inches taller. Castaneda holds the 4-inch reach advantage, and then Gutierrez has the 2-inch leg reach advantage. I believe that I had Castaneda winning that the first time that they were supposed to fight, but I've had a change of heart. I'm going to go with Gutierrez here. Clearly, Castaneda has some issues. I forgot what his issues were before, but I like Gutierrez. I think he, sometimes he quits, but he's fought the better competition. His hands are better. Listen, he's 2-2 in his last 4, but he's lost to Munoz and Song Yadong, and then 3 canceled bouts against 3 different opponents. Castaneda is 4-3 in the UFC, lost to Daniel Marcos. Not a bad loss. Obviously, Daniel Marcos is starting to really pick up steam lately. Just got outstruck, got knocked down. Gutierrez has the hands to do that as well. I think it's just going to be a clean win, probably 29-28. Wouldn't be surprised if it was 1-1 going into the third. Now, Gutierrez is a slight favorite, to be honest, minus 132. Slight favorite right now on FanDuel. I like it. I'd probably take Gutierrez as a straight, to be honest. No need to overcomplicate it. I just think he's fought the better competition. Castaneda has the power. Gutierrez has the combinations on the feet. I think he ends up just landing a lot more, and I think it's going to cause a lot more damage than even if a Castaneda can win a round by landing one hard shot, maybe. I think Gutierrez can put in 2 rounds of work to win a fight like this. So give me Chris Gutierrez to win by decision. Next fight. Evan Elder versus Gaj Young. Another one, not going to go into it. Same leg reach advantage. Elder has the 2-inch reach advantage and is an inch taller. Evan Elder is 2-2 in the UFC. Has won 2 straight. Darius Flowers is probably the worst UFC fighter I have ever seen in my life, but ended up getting a finish there, which is nice. I mean, he's seen everything so far. Preston Parsons, Sadikov is very good, and he's seen some scrubs as well. Young is 9-2, owned 1 in Contender Series, then ended up winning by TKO in FAC. What was this, in December? Obviously not too much on him either. Evan Elder right now, not anything on FanDuel, but minus 205 on DraftKings right now. I lean him to win by TKO or decision. Like I said before, he's seen everything at this point. He has more experience. I think he's just going to be able to outland him on the feet. He'll be able to just clinch him. It'll probably be a little boring at times, most likely, but it's fine. We're not here to just have a bunch of fun fights. I'm trying to win. So I like Evan Elder here, so give me Evan Elder to win by TKO or decision. And then the prelim, what do they call it? Prelim main event? What is it? Featured prelim? The featured prelim. It's Matt Schnell versus Jimmy Flick. I mean, mid versus mid. Schnell is an inch taller, 2 inches reach advantage, and an inch leg reach advantage. Homie retired a few months ago. I don't know why he's fighting. For what? Already, just off that, I'm like, I don't want to bet on you. He's lost 4 of his last 5. We look at who he's fought. Okay, I get it, but I don't care. He's lost 4 of his last 5. It doesn't matter who he's fought. Roval, don't care. Nicolas, don't care. Usyk, Durden. I mean, listen, they're all losses, and they all lost losses by finish. First and foremost, this fight is not going to the distance. That's my prop bet of the fucking year, probably. Not going the distance. Someone's dying here. Then we go Jimmy Flick. Flick is 2-3 in the UFC. He's lost 3 of his last 4, dating back to 2023. Ever since he came back after 2020, he's just been so ass. But it's fine, because you know what? Matt Schnell sucks too. I mean, it's true. And my one thing here is that Matt Schnell is a minus 300. And Jimmy Flick is a plus 220 on FanDuel. At this point, I don't even understand why Matt Schnell is fighting. I think that Jimmy Flick's going to be able to somehow, some way choke him out. I mean, Matt Schnell's not in this for the love of the game anymore. He's in for a paycheck. And honestly, Matt Schnell, Jimmy Flick might be as well. I just don't love him in this spot. He should have retired and stayed retired after Durden smoked his ass. I just don't understand. I think Jimmy Flick's going to, Jimmy Flick doesn't offer anything on the feet. But Matt Schnell also doesn't present anything after he gets rocked, which I think could happen even if he gets taken down and elbowed and he's just dazed and confused. The fact that Jimmy Flick's an underdog here is pretty shocking. I think if Matt Schnell was an underdog, I would still go Jimmy Flick, which makes me think, wow, I'm definitely on the Flick side, no matter how ass he is as well. Give me the dog here. I don't understand. I really don't. Can someone explain to me this one? But regardless, plus 220, I'm going to bet on this fight somehow. But give me the dog. Give me Jimmy Flick to win by submission. Okay, starting off the main card. Ikram Aliskerov versus Andre Muniz. Now, Muniz is an inch taller, 2 inches in reach advantage, and 3 inches leg reach advantage. He's obviously going to want to grapple. He has all the advantages to stay standing, but, the shitty part is he's not that great standing, and then he's facing a monster in Aliskerov. Now, Aliskerov has been chinned before, but who has he been chinned by? Who's his 2 losses? Hamzat and Rob the Reaper Whitaker. Those are not 2 bad losses to have. Muniz, I guess I'm a hater on Muniz because he smoked me with that Jun Park fight. So I'm a little biased. But before that, he dropped 2 straight, both by finish, and then he was just on a crazy streak. Holy shit, he hadn't lost since 2016. 6-2 in the UFC, 2-0 Contender Series is so fun. I love when I see 2-0 because it's like you weren't good enough the first time. Ikram Aliskerov, 2-1, obviously, like I said. 2 wins by finish. Phil Haas sucks. Warley Alves is an unk, but he's not bad. And then lost to the Reaper. Short notice for the Reaper. Also for Ikram to fight him specifically. I'm sorry, it was Hamzat he was supposed to fight. Ikram came in short notice and just absolutely got smoked. Was supposed to fight a week prior to Muniz and then Tricoli. He would have murdered both, which makes me think he's going to murder Muniz again. He's a minus 720 on FanDuel. Not doing it. I think that even if he's going to stand in the pocket, he's going to land some kicks. Some body kicks are going to be nasty. Muniz is going to try to catch one of those, try to trip him, stay on the ground as much as he can. That is very liable. I mean, listen, that's not a bad game plan if you want to go that way. He can absolutely land some type of takedown. He averages 4 in his UFC career. Granted, there's a million fights, but 11 takedowns against Jun Park. He's landed a takedown in every fight but like 3, but 1 only most recently to Brandon Allen where he got choked out. I don't hate the spot for Muniz. I'm not going to bet on the Ikram side, especially at this price. He's the biggest favorite on the card. I think that's pretty absurd. Or I guess Amorim on some other book, she's the bigger favorite at minus 850 or something. It's just crazy too. But minus 720, not going to bet on it, but I still like him to win. So give me Ikram Aliskerov to win by knockout or TKO. Next fight of the night, we have Randy Rude Boy Brown versus Nicolas Dalby. Now Randy is 4 inches taller, has the 3.5 inch reach advantage and the 2.5 inch leg reach advantage. Listen, at their weight class, he's always the longer, lankier fighter. He knows how to work with it, but he pisses me off sometimes. And here's my thing, right? He's from New York too, so like that's gang. But he pisses me off sometimes. He's 13-6, lost to Brian Battle. He should have won that fight. And it's not that Brian Battle didn't do enough, kinda, but he won the fight. It's just like Randy Are you tired in the third round every time? Is that what we're doing? You won against Zombie Zaleski in your last fight. That's how mad I'm getting. I'm stuttering. You should have easily beat Brian Battle. He gave you that. He gave you that win. You were beating the shit out of him. And obviously, look, Randy landed just slightly more, 2 takedowns as well. Lost a split decision. Should have won it. Before that, won 3 straight. Lost to Jack Della, won 4 straight. This is the beginning of another run for him. I like Rude Boy. I really do. And honestly, I like Dalby as well. I feel like every time I bet against Dalby, he wins. And then when I bet on him, he loses. Lost a split to Renat. Probably should have won. Maybe. Plus 3.5. I feel like that's always a lock for someone like Dalby. Just solid, just relentless. Not great anywhere. But good. Good wrestler. He knows how to strike. He's very durable. His best attribute is his durability. He'll get cracked and he won't even feel it. Now, has he ever been cracked by someone like Rude Boy? Not really. I think Rude Boy can crack for real. So it's going to be interesting to see how this fight plays out, especially because Rude Boy is the taller fighter. He knows that Dalby's going to try to take him down. Even though Dalby only averages 1 takedown a fight, it's all matchup based. Rude Boy has a 73% takedown defense. That's going to be massive here. He needs to not try to go for guillotines in this position against someone like Dalby. He's too durable. You want to get off of the cage. That's the only way you're going to win against someone like Dalby. He's relentless, but he can get cracked as well. Lands 4 strikes per minute, gets hit 3.5 around, where Randy's just a little over 1. He's going to be cracking. He's going to be throwing a lot more than Dalby, but if Dalby lands half the strikes and gets more takedowns and more control, he's going to win this fight. In terms of the odds, Rude Boy is a minus 260. I kind of hate that he's that much of a favorite. I kind of wish it was like a minus 150, but he's the better fighter. He's fought the better competition. He's just overall, I think, just skill for skill, he's better. But if there were a prop bet I'll go to, it'd probably be the over. Like I said, Dalby's not going to finish Rude Boy, and Randy Brown could crack Dalby, but Dalby's very durable. So whatever the over is, I'm probably going to lean that. Hopefully 2.5 might be a straight bet. Probably not, but I might parlay that. But Randy Rude Boy minus 260, not in love with it, but I still like him to win. So give me Randy Brown to win by decision. Michel Pereira versus Abus Magomedov. Now, Abus is an inch taller, has a 5-inch reach advantage, and the 1-inch leg reach advantage. This is going to be a very interesting fight because of what just happened to Michel Pereira. I was going to say in the octagon, but also apparently he was boo-loving with someone else, and his wife was blasting him on the internet. It was kind of fucked. It was kind of funny, but it was kind of fucked. If that's his biggest problem, I don't know, because low-key Fluffy did him dirty. Fluffy just manhandled him for 5 rounds. Absolutely domination in October. But before that, he was making a run in this weight class. He's obviously 9-3 overall, but since moving up, he's 3-0 or 3-1 technically now, or moving down. I'm sorry. I don't know. It's one of those fights where I'm like, shit, or moving up. I'm sorry, moving up. I don't know why I keep thinking moving down. Abus is a dog. He's 27-6, 3-2 in the UFC. He's won 2 straight, 2 very good wins against Alves and Ferreira after getting smoked by Strickland and losing a very decisive fight against Bajalio. Great win against Ferreira. Great win, honestly. And good for him because I think he was like the slight favorite in that fight. Just took him down 4 times too, just outworked him on the ground. And the problem with someone like Michel Pereira is that he has no takedown defense. I know it says this, but listen, it's tough. It's very tough because once he gets taken down, it's pretty much over for him. So, especially someone like Abus who has great just ground control. We've seen it in the past now. We've seen him kind of form into he wanted to be exciting in the beginning, and then he was getting smoked. So he was like, let me actually be a UFC fighter and an MMA fighter and not just try to rely on making highlights, and let me win these fights. And he won a great fight by finishing his last one, not playing it smart and not being dumb. Now here's the thing, Michel Pereira, doesn't do well against grapplers. But what about a wrestler? Because Abus isn't before the UFC, people thought of him as like this striker, this all-hail this striker, whatever. Hey, he turned pretty Russian once he got to the UFC. But I still don't know in terms of Pereira versus wrestlers, because Fluffy isn't a wrestler, he's a grappler. He's one of the best grapplers in the UFC, I would say, honestly. Landed 10 takedowns against Pereira, but at some point Pereira was tired. This is a 5-rounder, dude. Like, he was getting smoked at some point. This is a 3-rounder against Abus, who also has some type of cardio issues. I wouldn't say issues, but someone like Michel Perez that's going to be in your face constantly. Abus isn't going to be able to breathe out there, so it's going to be interesting to see how this fight plays out. Probably, to me, the best fight aside from the main event. On FanDuel, Michel Pereira is the favorite. He's the favorite. He's minus 146 on FanDuel. He's minus 135 on DraftKings. So that's a clean, straight bet. I still lean Pereira just slightly. He's going to be able to find that chin. Abus has been cracked before. Could be one of those situations where he cracks him and then Abus tries to get a takedown. Gilly, over. I kind of see it going that way, to be honest. I like Abus, but Pereira, just that one loss to Fluffy isn't going to change anything, I think. That he could still make a run in this division. It's a great division, and I lean him. So give me Michel Pereira to win by TKO or submission. Giga Chikadze versus David Onama. Now Giga is an inch taller, same reach advantage, and has the half-inch leg reach advantage. This fight's going to be very interesting as well, to be honest. This card's a banger. Now Giga, he's 8-2 in the UFC. Obviously had a massive, he was like 7-0. Then gets smoked by Cater. Comes back a year and a half later, beats Caceres pretty decisively. Then loses to Arnold Allen, where he won the first round and then just loses steam because Allen's pressure. Now Onama, on the other hand, is also a pressure fighter early in the fight, where Allen kind of lets you work a little bit and then he finds his reads and everything. He's kind of a slow starter. Onama's the exact opposite, and I think that plays into Giga's favor because Giga is also very good in the first round. I would say they're both equally as good in the first round, but once it gets to the second and third, Giga is still better than him. We've seen them both hurt before, but I wouldn't even say Cater, or I wouldn't even say Giga. We've seen him absolutely demolished. I mean, that Cater fight, that should not even be shown anymore. It's nasty. But it's not like he's been dropped. Like, I've seen Onama get hurt multiple times. Damn near every fight, I feel like he gets hurt. Look how many knockdowns. I mean, I know some are him, but like all these are very funny. Like, obviously he didn't get knocked down on that Nate Landwehr fight, but Nate Landwehr beating the shit out of him too, and he lost. But he's 5-2 in the UFC. He's on a 3-fight win streak, 2 by decision. So he's showing that gas tank a little bit. Like I said, he outworked Romero, who's also fighting on this card. Beat Jonathan Pierce, beat Santos. Very nice wins, honestly. Like I said, Giga's lost 2 of his last 3. But this is a level of competition-based type of fight. Striking, I still lean Giga. Grappling, Onama for sure. But Giga knows that. And I think that if it stays on the feet, the numbers might show you Onama is landing more. But I think Giga's going to be landing the harder, cleaner shots. Because that's what he is. He's a technician in there. And I think this is a tailor-made fight for him, similar to the Caceres fight. Although Caceres doesn't present much on the hands, or standing I should say. I still like Giga in this fight. And this is the kicker. Giga is at plus 134. Yeah, give me Giga Chikadze to win by TKO or decision. The next video will have Giga. I'll tell you that right now. But give me Giga to win by TKO or decision. Co-main event, Anthony Smith versus Zhang Mingyang. Anthony Smith is 2 inches taller, has the half-inch reach advantage, and the 3-inch leg reach advantage. Listen, it's his retirement fight. I don't even know what to say anymore. He's lost 3 of his last 4 or 6 of his last 8 fights. I'm sorry, 5 of his last 8 fights. 13-11 in the UFC. Mingyang Zhang, 2-0. Both first round TKOs. Oh, look, another first round TKO. And another, 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 and another. Then he lost. And another, and another. 26. He's 26. He's a monster. I mean, he has the hands. If this extends past the first round, might be scary, obviously. But Anthony Smith is old. Listen, that Petrino fight, people are going to look at that like, listen, Petrino's still good. He's not. Clearly, he's lost his last fight as well. They're going to look at this like, oh, he just got fraud checked. He could fraud check Mingyang Zhang. Well, Mingyang Zhang's going to punch him in the face. And when he punches him in the face, Anthony Smith is going to go, oh, shit. And that's how it's going to go. I mean, they're feeding him. If Mingyang Zhang can get this off, I mean, that's a great name to have on your list. Ribeiro, Ozzy Diaz, Anthony Smith. I mean, there's only so much. You just go up from that point. They might give him Ryan Spann after this, to be honest. Give me Mingyang Zhang. Listen, the odds, minus 590 on FanDuel, absolutely atrocious. Probably going to take a TKO prop. Give me Mingyang Zhang to win by knockout or TKO. The main event, Ian Machado Garry versus Carlos Prates. Ian Garry's 2 inches taller, but Prates has the 3.5 inch reach advantage and the 1.5 inch leg reach advantage. Now, one thing to point out already is that we haven't seen Pratesito past the second round, and this is a 5-rounder. I mean, Pratesito has only been past the first round or second round. This is kickboxing, so his first 2 fights where he's 1-1 in 2019. Since then, he's just been murdering people. 4-0 in the UFC. What can I even say, man? He's so technical, it's scary. 4-0, 4 bonuses. I mean, it's scary, dude. This dude is scary. And, you know, those 4 fighting nerds, like the main ones, it's like the fucking Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles. Like, I'm not fading them until, like, or at least I thought, you know, like, I can't fade them until someone loses. Now, Ian Garry is 8-1 in the UFC, 15-1, 15-1 overall. Lost to Shavkat, lost 3-2. I even bet on Ian Garry. I predicted him to win. It was close, but he lost that fight. He clearly lost that fight 3-2, which is not bad, but he still lost. And obviously people are going to go, if you pick Shavkat, you have to pick, or if you pick him to beat Shavkat, you have to pick him to beat Prates. Well, it's a little different, because we know Shavkat was going to lean towards the grappling, almost got choked out. Ian Garry is also very technical as well on the feet. But he's lost some steam. I think he's lost some power. I don't know what his little diet is, his little grass diet. But clearly it's given him the ability or the inability to throw heavy anymore. Like, he doesn't throw heavy. He's been cracked by Jeff Neal. He's been cracked by Michael Page. He was cracked by Kanang Song. Prates can hit him hard and scary. If Prates lands the right hand that Michael Venom Page did, Ian Garry's getting put to sleep. Now, what's also scary is that Ian Garry has now been learning how to grapple a lot more. And although Prates has a 91% takedown defense, a little scary. Listen, Neil Magny went 0 for 7, which is why the odds are like that, or stats. Yang didn't try to get a takedown. Radke went 0 for 2. Trevin Giles went 0 for 2. And Mitch Ramirez is the only one that got that takedown. He's the 9%. Mitch Ramirez in Contender Series. Look how many knockdowns he has. You know how fucking crazy that is? He's knocked everyone down. He can knock down Ian Machado Garry in this fight. Now, if it extends past the third, we just simply haven't seen. We haven't seen Prates in that situation. It's scary to know that although Ian Garry's, been cracked before, he can land and he can survive until the third, fourth, and then what's going to happen? So it's going to be a tough fight for both of them. I'm so torn. Is Prates going to be able to land that shot before? The odds suggest that he won't. Plus 114 right now. He's an underdog. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to fade a fighting nerd just yet. I like Ian Garry. I really do. Like, I know people hate on him. I think he's a good fighter. Is he UFC champion level? I don't really think so. Is Prates UFC champion level? I don't think so either. I think Ian Garry's more well-rounded. But sometimes that just doesn't matter. Unfortunately. If it was, there'd be a lot of people who would be champions. Trust me, it's tough. It's a stacked division. It's tough for Ian Garry out here. Prates can bounce back if he loses, but I just don't think it happens this week. Give me Carlos Prates to win by knockout or TKO. And that concludes UFC Kansas City. Ian Garry versus Carlos Prates. I have a few dogs. Subject to change, we'll see. Like I said, in a few days, I'm going to be dropping my early best bets, including parlay of the week. But if you want all of that early, especially like all of these predictions early, all my bets early, and then all my other bets, exclusive Discord bets, not just for this, but baseball, basketball, football when that's back on, not just for me, but my 2 moderators, the community itself. Please join the Discord. It's what allows me to be able to do these type of videos as well for you, so I greatly appreciate it if you were to join. It is the best bang for your buck. To me, it's one of the best communities in the world, and for what you're paying, I mean, I think it's pretty insane. So, and as always, I appreciate you all. I'm so happy to be back this week. Please like, share, favorite this, send this to your homies, please. It all helps with the algorithm. Please sub as well. Like I said, 500, and I'll be doing a giveaway. And like I said, I appreciate you all. I love you all. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. And I will see you in a few days with UFC Kansas City best bets. Let's keep cashing.